Why does the church always talk about abortion? Well, as I mentioned in another video, the church talks about things other than abortion all the time. If you're not hearing those other messages, you're not really paying attention to what the church has to say, and this is including on other social issues. But the church does talk a lot about abortion. In fact, our church documents have said that abortion is the preeminent moral issue of our time, and sometimes you might wonder, well, why? Why is that? Well, I think it would help us to get a scope of the issue here. So I went Googling, and I just spent a few minutes Googling about causes of death in the United States, and I chose the year 2020 because I figured it's a recent year, but it's a couple of years ago, so we've had time to collect the data, right? So in the year 2020, and this is according to the to JAMA, the Journal of the American Medical Association, leading cause of death in the year 2020 in the United States, it was heart disease, with about 690,000 people dying of heart disease. Just beneath that was cancer, with 598,000 people, so just under 600,000 people dying of cancer. And then COVID, of course, 2020, big year for COVID. According to JAMA, that's 345,000 deaths were attributed to COVID. And then I thought it interesting to note that JAMA also included suicide as one of the leading causes of death at 44,834 people dying of suicide in America in the year 2020. Now that got me curious, how many people died in the year 2020 in America from gun violence? And I found that statistic on the site of the Center for Disease Control, and they reported that 2020 was a particularly bad year for gun violence, with over 45,000 people, 45,222 to be precise, dying from gun violence. What I'm not sure of, because I didn't look into the numbers, is whether or not those figures included suicide from gun also. So that would have a little bit of overlap between the number of suicide cases and cases of death by gun violence. So those are some of the leading causes of death in the United States, according to JAMA and the Center for Disease Control. How many abortions were performed in the year 2020? Or another way of phrasing that, how many children died from abortion in the year 2020? Well, according to the Guttmacher Institute, which is a pro-abortion advocacy group, they reported 930,000 babies died of abortion in the United States in the year 2020. And that's not even the worst year for abortion in American history. In fact, abortion statistics have been trending down in recent years. 930,000 deaths from abortion, compared to the next highest cause of death, heart disease, 690,000. So more than 200,000, really almost 250,000 more people died of abortion than died of heart disease, and almost 600,000 more than died of COVID-19 in that same year. So all of these deaths are tragic. Even one death is tragic. The thing about abortion is each one of those deaths was 100% preventable. Each one of those deaths was 100% preventable. There's only so much we can do to keep people dying from heart disease. There's only so much we can do to keep people dying from cancer. But can we keep people dying from abortion? Can we change the laws in our country? Can we change people's hearts in our country? Can we change society and our culture to the point where women who find themselves in crisis pregnancies, instead of being told, oh, terminate the child, terminate the pregnancy, have an abortion, receive actual help and care that allow them to make that choice to keep that child and value that child's life? Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. So if you wonder why Catholics and other people in the pro-life community care so much about abortion and talk so much about abortion, it's all in the numbers.